Hi, Scott Grove here from Easy Inlay, and in this episode, I want to show you how you can use some free brass inlay key filings. I'm going to show you how to use brass key filings and CA glue to do a really cool inlay. So the first key here, is go to a big box hardware store and go to the key department, and you can ask them for the scrap key filings. They're consistent, they're oil-free, they typically don't have any steel in it, so you can take a magnet and wipe a magnet over it. Have a magnet? I don't think so. So you can wipe a magnet over and pull any steel out of there if you're concerned about that. But it's really nice stuff, super consistent, and it makes a great inlay. So let me show you what we're going to do. I had this sort of dragon motif that I did for a dining room table, and I've got an extra pattern here, so we're going to go ahead and inlay that. So the first thing we want to do, as I've mentioned before in other episodes, is you want to seal the wood first, either with some finish, or what I like to use is a solution of 25% wax-free shellac and DNA, denatured alcohol. You can spray that on there, and that will seal all the surrounding pores. If it spills over and then you sand it off, it won't leave what's called a witness line, or a little halo sort of from that sealed area if you put a finish over the top of that. This already has a coat of lacquer on it, so we can skip that step. So the first thing I'm going to do is, since I have a void here, I'm going to go ahead and spray the voids with my accelerator. This will cure the CA from the bottom up. We don't want to put our inlay and CA glue in and spray on the top, because that can seal and put a hard coat on the top and trap gases inside, and that can be a problem with bonding and curing and all that. So once that dries, it's important to let it dry. I'm simply going to take my key filings and put them in. I'm simply going to take my key filings and sprinkle them in. You want to be sure you work this stuff around, especially for the small details. You want to make sure you get it in there. It's always a good idea to overfill, because we're going to be sanding this back flush. After that, I'm going to take my Glue Boost Ultra Thin. This is a low viscosity CA, so it's going to wick all the way down. In some cases, it may draw some of those fine bits down, sort of the liquid sort of sucks it down. So you may need to add just a little more. And you know you've added enough when it starts to look a little shiny. I don't know if you can see that with this camera angle or not. Let's see if we can get a reflection. There we go. That means the CA has filled up all those voids, and I've got good adhesion. So we're going to let that set up and come back and sand that. All right, so there you go. Closer view. So that's looking pretty good. You can see kind of right here, it was below the surface. You can pretty much tell that. So I could either add more key filings and more CA and sort of build that up. But this is so close to the surface, I'm just going to put a layer of CA on top of it and sort of fill that void up. And that will optically look flush. So obviously that's going to take another round of sanding, but I think we'll good. And I got a couple of spots over here too. Well, we'll go ahead and coat them all. Don't you love the plan? Let's just wipe the whole surface with it. And now here I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in. Let that set up, sand that down, but you get the idea. Brass key filings, boy, it's cheap, it's free. So think about key filings in your next inlay project, certainly a free source of material. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.